Well, back to it. So with the dating, you feel that the man should pay for the first
he
date.
should definitely pay for the first
Okay.
date.
I don't know.
Do you feel the woman should ever pay for a date?
Yes.
I mean, like down the line, I definitely.
How soon?
How soon?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, probably like the third.
Maybe at least the third.
I'm about to say third.
At least the third date.
Now I've said
it depends on the situation.
I just want to correct myself because I've said I don't date, but I will date if you solidified yourself as a person.
What is this
a consistent person?
The ladies want to know what's the solidification.
Okay,
as
I said earlier,
because you talking, but you're not telling us
how
does that happen.
Okay, lay it out there, John.
I'm gonna lay it out there.
Get it.
Put it on the table. Yeah, show you little niggas. So to basically be solidified in my life, I feel that it's mutual communication more than anything. Like, show me that you're interested in me because I'm a commodity. Just like you feel like you're a commodity, I'm a commodity. And the difference is between me and you is you're a woman. I got 20 chicks right here lined up waiting on me. So if you trip, one of them go step up and they go for what you not going for.
And that's how sometimes they end up with the bottom of the barrel because sometimes these chicks see a man and play these games in order to get what they want from them. So you might be choosing the easier chick, but she plotting on you versus the one that is direct about expectations and not gonna sit up there and settle for no anything.
And I agree with that. But what if I work for this chick that's pretty much running me through the ringer, and she's still plotting on me, and I'm still gonna fall flat on my face. So now I put in extra money, extra time, extra energy.
Life is the game. Hey, look, we need to get some shirts made say life is the game. Cause like at the end of the day,
how you play, it's how you play, it's how you play.
So that's my thing. So I'm gonna ask you this question: would you rather spend $5,000, 5 days of work, and only getting 12 hours of sleep on somebody compared to only spending $10, putting in 1 day of work, and getting a whole 24 hours of sleep? And you gonna get the same result from either one, both.
Okay, so and that goes back to your expectations, what you want,
personal preference,
and what you're willing to tolerate and deal with. Because oftentimes y'all gamble, but you looking at the wrong things. You are surpassing what may be difficult for what may be easier, but in the long run, that's gonna cause you more problems. You see what I'm saying?
No, because both of them go give me the same.
Why
problem.
You feel like both of them give you the same problem?
No, but listen, I'm getting the same results from both. So which one would you rather gamble the most on? So if you being difficult,
price range.
If you being difficult or if you being easy, I'm gonna get the same result.
You in this
you
price
playing
range.
Games.
The price, because it is. Whatever ultimately, they in your price range.
Matter of fact, I'm cutting this price range.
No, it's not a price range. No, we're not
dating
price. Because I'm saying, like, it depends on the type of woman that you're dealing with.
I mean, I understand.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that just because I may come off as more of expensive, that doesn't mean the content of my heart and my character wants you to. Because right woman is going to want to build with you.
And I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that. But I'm asking you from this specific aspect. Whereas, would I rather take the easy road and get hurt? Or would I rather take this hard, rocky, expensive road?
Well, if you're looking at it, if you speaking her into existence, then
I'm not trying to speak
this
into existence, but I'm just saying being realistic. Like, okay, would I rather take this easy road or this hard road, and I still go get the same endpoint? Well, I understand where you coming from, where this woman might, produce more. But I'm saying no. Like, we speaking on, you both go get the same endpoint. Would you rather take the hard road or the easy road to get to the same endpoint?
I mean, if you put it in that aspect, that's with anything. Like, naturally, if you're going to get the same results, you're going to choose the easier road.
So, again, that's why men tend to to do that because a lot of times, whereas women put on this persona, whereas I'm this and I'm that, I'm this and I'm that. We see through the BS. We see through the BS. Now, I know. Hold up.
Hey, I'm looking at this camera for a purpose. Look at him. Cadaro's not endorsing this bullshit because Cadaro's not.
Google me, okay? I am.
No, Cadaro do not endorse that message.
Nah, I know it is some good women out there, so don't get me
wrong. Cadaro do not endorse this message.
One day, ladies.
But I'm saying,
I'm giving y'all my whole name. Cordero do not endorse this message.
So, like, even though it's some bad women out there, it is some good women. So basically, I want you to do just like the bad men give the good men a bad taste in y'all mouths. The bad women give the good men a bad taste in our mouths. So you have to realize that even though it's not you, it's your female counterparts that's pretty much giving y'all this.
So you be emotionally attached like that though? Like
no,
like because you over opinion. I guess I don't know. Maybe I've been dating for the wrong reasons or whatever. Because like I'm not gonna say like I dated bad women. Like we had good times and bad. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you know. Even though we had this conversation earlier, I say it's 50-50, but like I always feel like
relationships give and take.
Like relationships are give and take, but at the same time though, I wouldn't necessarily say, you know what I'm saying, I dated a bad woman, you know, like because to me that's like
dated hoes, I've dated users. I've dated all this stuff, so I can say.
So when you say okay, so what? So when you say you've dated all this, then you gotta ask yourself, what is it about me that's attracting?
I was Captain Save-A-Hole.
And
that's what it was. That's what it was. That's why.
Hey, but look, what's my number one rule? You had did what? You basically you had did what?
I tried to save you.
You made the emotional decision.
Okay.
Like, and that's what I don't understand.
You made the emotional decision, so that's your fault.
They like the hoes, but they don't understand.
First of all, that's not true.
No, that's not true.
Okay, they like what the hoes bring to the table.
Like John, what John did was he had based his decision based on a temporary emotion. Like he thought he loved these hoes, but he shouldn't have.
John gonna speak for John. John saw this woman who
potential.
This potential that didn't have much, but I saw potential in her. So therefore, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna invest. I'm gonna build her up. I'm gonna build it so we can be this. It's a good story. That's a good goddamn story.
Well, look, women been doing this since the beginning of time.
So I've dealt with that. So
this
now
is so interesting. Continue.
So I wouldn't say it's like all women are bad. No, I know not all women are bad. But when you present yourself, it's like now I kind of got to look at all.
But like, do you blame them for you making that decision on looking at their potential?
Right.
Like,
because
do you actually blame them?
I'm learning in life, ladies, that sometimes
because if you didn't have
everybody lies. What?
You
can't part of that did you not get? Like everybody lies. Like
right,
you know.
Barack Obama had a potential. Okay. Barack had potential. Michelle saw that potential, and she went with her move. Okay, she embraced the idea of that. But you talking about somebody that didn't have nothing that you wanted to build up.
But they had potential.
What kind of potential?
They had potential.
What kind of potential?
They were smart. They were beautiful. They were in nursing school. I'm like, okay, so you know you're in Baton Rouge. You know the power couples is nursing and engineering. I was an engineering at the time. Like, cool. We could be on top of this thing. And
but is that your expectation versus reality though?
That was young.
But was that your expectation versus reality? Like
no, that was my expectation, and also that's why I kind of got away from the church girl, even though like.
First of all, like,
shout out to the church girl.
First of all, I'm still out there looking for the preacher daughter. Look,
he looking for y'all for a different reason. But no, I'm gonna say this, not that because you have to have those morals and values for me to even find interest in you. But I got away from looking specifically within that area because I was basically getting. What's the word I'm looking for?
So honestly, I mean, ultimately. You growing up in the church, you be sheltered. All right, so
yeah, I wasn't used to this real world.
As soon as
so now y'all get
hurt people,
and it's an ongoing cycle.
Here he go.
Because now you got good men meet bad women, and then they become bad men, and they mess over good women, and then this good woman mess
So
over.
how do we fix it? What do you suggest as how do we get better?
I mean, with any problem, you get to the root, but that's a situation you will never get to the root of.
I feel like
you can't like that's one of them things that you have to like know yourself and be honest with yourself.
Ultimately, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you get it. Go.
I'm gonna talk then, you know.
Okay. Ultimately, I feel like everything is a choice. We make choices. Infidelity is a choice. Deciding if you want to pursue something, but you have to make choices, and when you make those choices, you have to be willing to deal with the consequences of the choices that you make. Period. And some people deal with them better than others, to be perfectly honest.
But if I'm gonna say this, if I made this choice, I didn't expect this negative consequence.
Man, you was making a
but
man.
you gotta take it. You gotta take it as a learning.
Too.
You gotta take it as a learning experience. You can't take what happened.
You was emotional. You was tripping.
And turn it into oh, I ain't gonna do A, B, and C because she did me like this.
But
you
again,
gotta take.
but what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the
same thing.
So why I can't take this learning experience of not to do the same thing
and do something different? But that doesn't mean.
But no, now I'm doing something different. Now I'm getting bashed because I'm doing something different.
Well, I mean, I don't date.
But I mean,
like, don't date 5 other people.
That's my learning experience.
Okay.
Not today.
Okay. So you was talking about how you stop potential and stuff. So I mean, like that's what dating is for. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't necessarily blame you. But like looking at
so why do I gotta invest in that to find out?
You don't necessarily gotta invest.
It's like,
at the end of the day, like to know somebody, like it's cool to like talk on the phone, text.
I don't like talk on the phone.
Like before you go on a date, cause like when I went on my Dutch date, like when I had a Dutch date.
Shout out
like,
to the women that don't mind going Dutch.
We talked like for days before, like a week or two before we even decided.
That's too short.
Like,
hold on.
First of all, to go on the Dutch date, is not
hold on, check this out. So
I'll take care of it, or you gonna take care of it.
So Daryl, so you went on a Dutch date a week after finding out this person. It's too short.
No.
So with D, remember D took chick to get steak and potatoes and wine and stuff.
And that's his fault.
So where you took her?
We went to the movies.
Oh, you ain't learned nothing about her.
Why? You didn't learn nothing about her at the movie.
You
just wanted to touch her.
We went to the.
You just wanted to
touch her.
First of all, we went to the movie. Then after the movie,
you pulled this out. You went there.
And then after the movie, like, well, I'm from Shreveport, so you know, like how Perkins Road is like when you like leave the movie.
You went on Juella?
Nah, boy. Hey, boy, what you know about Juella? Hello.
That's funny thing on there.
Hey, boy, sit down somewhere, man. We gonna have to talk later, but no. But like, you know, like Perkins Road is something like the boardwalk in Shreveport. So, you know, like, once you leave the movie, like, you know, you can like walk around and just talk, like, and that's what we did. So, like, I did learn so you know what I'm saying? Like, we did.
But that wasn't an initial date. But that was free.
That was free. No, the movie wasn't
an
initial date because, like, what happened was, like, I realized, like, we liked the same shit. Like, I forgot what movie we saw.
But guess what?
But like, it was a movie that we both was interested in and we both wanted to see.
Boy, shit.
So you know what I'm saying? So like, something that we had a common ground to talk about.
I'm gonna hit you with the edit along, but watch this. I'm gonna set you up for it. So, you learned something about her, but it was during the free part of the date. Because
and then we just walked and talked. I'm so free.
Hold on, let's go back. But you learned something about her, but it's during the free part of the date. Y'all were walking on the boardwalk. You weren't spending money and learning about her.
Who says you have to spend money to take somebody out?
Like, but like, no, like
I said the other week, you can do stuff for free.
Like, I'm into live music and entertainment. If you come to the city, there's like
Frenchmen,
and all kind of stuff. So it doesn't have to be an expensive date, but I do feel like a man should initiate the first date.
And I agree. A man should initiate. But if you are too eager and you want to basically say, when you go take me out on a date, you rubbed me the wrong way.
What do you consider as eager? How long should I be texting, talking to you before it's time for you to decide to take me on a date?
Me personally, like, I find it super attractive. I'm sorry. Like, I love a woman that could sit down there and be like, and just know what she want. Like,
Exactly.
boom.
I agree.
I like you.
Exactly.
I like you.
When you gonna
when
what's
we
gonna
going
happen?
out?
I agree.
Exactly. But,
Like, let's not
But
waste
I met you.
time, like,
But I
let's-
met you 2
like-
days ago. Don't ask me that.
Like,
Don't ask me that.
Like,
it
to
don't
me,
be no
bro,
time. I refuse to believe these people
First
won't
of all,
be taken
like,
out on a date after like
I don't believe time.
It might be
They
something
will.
like, okay, so when we gonna link up? When we gonna go out on a
And
date?
I'm like, okay.
Just because they won't go on a date, that means that they're trying to have that personal one-on-one.
Again,
then,
don't
like,
ask
she
me
let you
that.
know what her
Don't
head
ask
is
me
from
that.
jump. Like, I'm
Like-
looking gone. They get to know
But I
you and see
understand
what
what
it's
you're
going.
saying.
Don't ask me
But,
that.
if I've been texting and talking to you,
But
for
you
a
haven't.
couple
I've been
of
texting
weeks,
you. You just been responding.
yeah,
You ain't been initiating. So, good morning. How's you doing? How you doing
people
today?
initiate.
I mean,
so that must be who you.
to me personally, like when you first pursuing somebody, like I don't mind like doing the initiating of like the text and all that.
I do it for the first 3 days. After that, I'm not gonna text you that 4th day. And if you don't respond that 4th day, I'm gonna stop talking to you. Straight up. On to the next.
And like that's your policy and your thing, which is cool. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like for me, like the first week, you know what I mean? I don't see nothing wrong with it because it's me like getting to know you, and then like if you texting back quick, that's more good on my
Yeah, I love them,
because, like,
them text backs quick.
Cause like,
But-
like
like
to
I
text
said,
back quick, ladies.
But
You do like
also,
like,
I don't
like,
trip.
like,
the person that we
like-
like. But don't you feel like sometimes it always be the people that you don't
like. But
that people
and this is what I was gonna say. I don't care if you don't text back quick because that means you're actually working and doing something. If you texting back quick, you ain't doing nothing.
That is a lie. Sometimes you can text back. If
But
I
I'm just
like
saying,
you
for the
enough,
most part, okay,
I'ma
let's
text
say
back.
normal working
But
hours.
but like that's also something that you could talk about too. Like, oh yeah, I'm at work, blah blah blah. Like,
right. I'm
Cool.
doing
So,
A, B,
I
and C.
understand it.
yeah, like that's what the text
But if you
message
text it
about.
back
Like,
quick,
look,
you ain't doing that at work.
Or you could be like, hey, look, I'll just text you back real quick because I'm on lunch break or I'm on break.
That's understood, but I'm just saying during work time, like, you know.
It depends.
It depends.
But I don't have a problem with that.
And
so, like,
sometimes you be
but if you
wanting,
like, I
you
ain't
be
doing
needing
nothing.
that little text throughout the day at
Right.
work
But do it to
when
kind of distract you from, you know.
It don't never distract. Like, well, it probably put that little
Sometimes
smile on
it
your
be
face, put that little hat.
So, gentlemen, or maybe a lot of ladies want to know this. So, for those of us who are very straightforward about our expectations, what we want, our non-negotiables, and you meet somebody and you start to talk to them and you realize that y'all ain't even on the same page. So, to not waste their time and your time, you let them know that you're not interested and you should just be friends. In return, it seems as if they come harder. Like I just explained to you that this is not going to work. Okay, so for you to continue to pursue me after I done said that it ain't going to work, like why is it okay for men to reject women, but it's a problem when the woman decides that, you know what, I don't want this.
Pride and ego, baby.
Man, you
Like
go.
like you said, like
Man,
we are
you go.
hunters out here. Like, how you feel like if you're going on a hunt and you
gonna
don't
take my gun.
Right, like not even take your gun, but like it's more or less like you going out to hunt and you don't catch shit.
Exactly, but
Like,
when
that's
y'all want
worthless.
it,
Like-
but
like,
when
that's a
y'all
bad-
want
that's
it
a
to
bad
be
day.
over, but when y'all want it to be over, it's supposed to be okay. It's supposed to be, man, she crazy. She didn't love text me. But
Well, I'm
when
gonna say
y'all
with
don't
most
leave
men,
alone,
it's never
leave me
over.
alone.
We never really like put
You
it
know
over.
what?
Hey,
We just move you from bae to friend with benefits.
Wow, ladies, you hear?
I'm not gonna lie.
It, right?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Just
like
know your role.
I don't even give you that role.
Know your
like,
role and shut your mouth.
Like I don't even
Like The
give,
Rock.
Like I don't even give him that role. Like
No, I don't
like
do that for it.
if we were in if we was in a relationship,
Situationship.
If y'all were just pursuing, if you were just pursuing somebody,
Situationship.
and you really like this woman, but she not feeling you. If she tell you no, you still not gonna.
like if she say no, I'm
Well,
okay.
well,
So that's you, but
I'm
there's
gonna
some
have-
men out
shit,
here
I'm gonna have an
that
issue.
are very, very confident,
Man,
and
first
they
of all-
feel like they cannot be rejected. Like
First
you
of all,
rejected.
that's how lawsuits
I'm
get
one
popped
of
off.
them. So let me speak on it. I'm
That's
one
how,
of them.
that's how lawsuits get popped
For
off.
one-
But, no, I'm good.
For one, I feel that, like Daryl said, you can't make a permanent decision based off of temporary emotion. You don't even know me. But honestly, in all honesty, a lot of times women do make, like, you pretty much go off of premature emotions, and like you really don't even know this guy. Therefore, you cutting him short, and like you could be missing out on the best thing of your life. Just to put it in full circle, just like when y'all tell me, well, if a chick asks you to go on a date, you should take her on a date because that could be the love of your life.
First of all, I never say you should take, like.
No, I'm just saying. But y'all was saying I shouldn't be so like judgmental. Or basically, if she asks to go on a date, open to it.
No, what I said was I find that attractive when you said like if a chick asks you something like that, like you block them and all that. What I said was I find it attractive that a woman is assertive enough and know what she want. Well, I'm like, yes, we can go on this date because to me, like, you don't find it too often. Because, like, of the simple question of what do you want to eat, we would sit down there for 30 minutes.
I'm very indecisive about stuff like that.
And that pisses us off.
So for you to sit down there and make that decision that you want to go on a date with me, that is dope. Because I already know, like, you indecisive on all this other shit, but you made the decisive
I'm
decision.
directly saying is I want your attention. I want you to take me somewhere.
But you want my attention tonight, and then tomorrow night you want.
That's not necessarily.
That's not always true, John. It just depends.
That's just like one of them things you go on date you find out.
That's why. The good suffer with the bad, just like y'all do with the men.
But like that's when y'all have.
Well, no, I'm not going to invite you over because last time he got too touchy.
That's why. But that's why you converse before the date, though. Like to me, like. Before I like straight up ask you on a date, you know, like I want to get to know you, like talk to you before this date, cause like in my head I have a plan for a date, but I gotta find out your likes and dislikes. Like if I know you like sushi, in my head I'm like, okay, I can find a tight sushi spot to go to for a first date if we go that far. I find out there's your favorite color purple. Okay, so if I ever need to get something, you know, like boom, boom, boom. I found out you hate. Or you allergic to peanuts or something, like I know what not to take you.
But again, all this stuff doesn't come overnight. So when I met you and you asking me to take you out on a date in 2 days, like no, that's premature.
So what do you see as we should go out on a date? How long does it take for you to be like, let me take her out on a date?
Couple weeks.
A couple
weeks of mutual and consistent communication.
I actually she's quicker than that.
But I'm pretty
I had a
sure,
3-day rule.
I'm pretty sure if the opportunity
hey, make sure you edit that out. Make sure you edit that shit out.
No, I'm putting it in there.
But if an opportunity presents itself
exactly.
to do that, you gonna do that without going on a date or not.
What?
If an opportunity presents itself for you to do what you do, you gonna take that opportunity to do it. So why you can't put in that same type of work or the same type of energy to take her out before you even get to that spot, that position?
But I mean, if I don't have to spend money on it, why do it?
That goes to expectations, ladies. That makes sense. I understand that. If you don't have to do it, you ain't gonna do it. So ladies, keep that in mind.
Why buy the cow when the milk is free?
Invite him over, or when you decide to look. If they don't have to pay for it, they ain't gonna pay for it. If you give it away,
for one, a man shouldn't pay for it.
Man, a man. First of all,
always pay for it.
First of all, a man always pay for it.
Always gonna pay for it.
Man, I don't care what no man say.
You gonna pay me.
Man, I don't care what no man say. They always pay for it. If it's with money or time, like you gonna pay for that shit.
Energy.
You gonna pay for that shit. Not emotion.
I don't mind giving you my time and energy.
Not emotion, but like the time and money.
To the woman that you're dating, you don't feel like that's something that you're giving. Because it takes a lot of energy to love somebody. It takes energy to
we talking about early dating though. Like
are we talking exclusive or early?
I'm just saying genuinely. I'm
detached.
Everything comes with some level of price. It might not be a monetary price, but it's something you paying for something.
Like I totally agree with that. Like I'm not disagreeing with that.
Like for anything.
But like me personally, I know I give either time or money, but like emotion, like that's like later on in a relationship, maybe.
Yeah,
well, no, like pop.
Men are detached for the most part until like it's really serious.
I totally agree. Like I'm not gonna like say I love you on like the first or second date.
Well,
no, we have some men that do that.
Hey, look, shout out to you. Look, and there ain't nothing wrong with that, fellas. Look, if you know you love her, you know you love her, you tell her. You tell her she the most beautiful thing you ever saw. You love her.
Hug your woman. Tell her you love her.
Tell her you love her. Okay. Don't be like me. Be better.
No, but like, but genuine, like going back to the thing, men, that's a pride issue. But I still feel like, just like you tell me not to make that temporary, well, that quick decision to cut a woman off just because she asked for a date. Don't make that quick decision to cut a man off just because you don't think he's what you want at that point in time. Like, give it time.
But I don't believe in wasting nobody's time.
Yeah, you shouldn't waste anybody's time. But
so, and that's how you get caught up. That's how you end up on a cereal box or something, playing with people.
In Walmart.
I agree and disagree. I don't know. Like, that's
just
interesting.
Give me your spiel.
I don't know. Like, I agree as far as like time, like wasting people's time. Yes,
that's
like
I never get back.
Yeah, like I always been that person. Like I don't mind like spending money on a date or whatever, because I mean money you can always make back. So like money, I never really just like, oh my god. But it's definitely that time though. Like that time that you feel like you could have been doing something better. That shit blow you.
But anyway, so the question. All right,
I'm a
so
musician.
My question is, why is it so easy for men to feel like women should be done with situations versus when you are open and honest about you not wanting to continue to pursue something, it turns into sometimes a domestic situation, sometimes a stalker situation. Why can't men handle rejection and expect women to handle it?
Like, I never
because
had
she be like, dude, she crazy.
Pride, ego.
Like, I don't think my pride and ego that big, because I never, like, had that moment where I just wanted to sit down and be like, you rejected me? Like, I never had that moment. Like, where I just want to sit down and...
I've had people
like
come to my job. You go
not talk to me? I'm the best thing ever happened to you.
I never went to nobody's job.
That is, man...
Like, that shit just sounds like weird.
I've had students be like, Miss Hamilton, he out there again. Like, man,
yeah, like
crazy.
real life.
It gets crazy. People don't
stop you,
bro. Deal with rejection.
I just go to the next one.
It's interesting. So like to me, that's interesting. Like I never wanted to like. Hey, let me go to your job. Or nobody ever came to my job as far as I know.
No, I just feel like
told me if they did.
But
I had somebody sleep outside my apartment door.
Like, but apparently I'm like a nonchalant,
crazy, okay?
I'm like a nonchalant, unattached boyfriend anyway. So that's probably why.
And see, maybe that's why you don't really do relationships, because you don't fully commit yourself, like give your energy like that.
Probably.
So do you want to get married? Do you want to settle down? No,
not get married. No.
But you want a relationship.
Probably sometime in the future.
Are you open to polygamy?
Polygamy? Wow. No, I'm not.
Okay, let's talk about. Well, that's the subject I would like to talk about. The whole idea of the way cheating is handled in a black. Let's stop. The way cheating.
Every night. I'm lying. Hell yeah, I do polygamy.
Okay,
a threesome every night? Yes.
Foursome.
What? Yes. Man, that's every man's fantasy before they get married.
And it's accepted?
Yes, because it's not cheating.
Well, see, I feel like society has put place, like, as far as marriage being I think marriage was created, like,
for the government to make money.
Exactly. For the government to make money.
Like, the government does not allow you to do anything unless they make money.
Back in the day, you could have as many wives as you could afford. So,
because Uncle Charlie had his wife right here. He had a family down the street, one in the backyard, and then one around the corner.
Man, that shit.
And then the children called each other cousins.
Like, you got to think about, like, a marriage is like, it's like an economy. Like happy spot, because you gotta think about it. You gotta buy your wedding license, your Then you gotta find the pastor. You gotta find the venue, food.
I'm actually
like,
I'm gonna go do that and get my my license to marry people.
Oh Lord.
Hey.
Income. Mm-hmm.
Hey John, if you do that, I could be the DJ or the host or some shit.
I got you.
Hey, look,
we be the host. We
look,
package deal.
Boom, look, we can make some shit happen.
What do you blame on that? Do you feel like cheating was more acceptable during the early days? Than
Yes.
It is now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why do you feel like that?
Gender roles. Y'all can do nothing but lay on y'all back and have babies.
I mean, at the end of the
I
day,
hate to sound harsh,
but
like
I feel like
what...
so. No, honestly, I feel like ultimately
it was no other choice but to accept the shit. Because I mean, like,
women
was
you
had
raising
13
these kids.
You had 13 kids.
They couldn't do nothing.
That's how y'all was
right. And also the fact that man, these women was worried about these men taking care of these bills. Like if you want to play with Susie on the side, go play with Susie's side. But
just
when
don't
you come back,
me in his house,
right? But see, these days I feel like it was more acceptable because men weren't disrespect. Men disrespect. Like
women disrespectful.
Men cheat to the point
women
where you
cheat
just
to the point of
like really.
Really?
Is that what you're doing today? Like that's the move you're gonna go with. So I feel like just like the whole police brutality thing, it's being televised now. So I feel like it ain't a matter of it being accepted. Women weren't as embarrassed as they are now.
Man Crush Monday.
All right.
A man crush.
I kind of see where you're going with that, though. I get it, because I mean, even though it was known, even though it was known, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like broadcasted and like I get what you're saying. I get it. I understand it. But then also like it goes back in the day, you know, like you were saying, like people, like women had so many kids. What man want to take on that responsibility? Like, cause I don't see a mom like just leaving their kids because of something like that.
Some of them will leave their kids.
But I can say I know based on back then. I can't speak on back then, but I know from today's society, like a lot of times men were happy within their homes, but then you run into a nagging wife, a nagging woman, and they was just looking for peace. So if Sally Susie down the street was giving them peace of mind, it wasn't the fact that they were really looking to cheat. They just was like, okay, I just need some peace of mind. One thing led to another. Now you got a whole nother.
But what about the woman who don't get an opportunity to have a peace of mind because she's taking care of the household, taking care of the kids, making sure you fed, making sure your clothes out, making sure.
But why are you nagging? But why are you nagging to the man that's providing the house, who's providing the pay bills, who's providing the food?
It's not a nagging situation. Okay, so all your role, all you doing is providing. What about all the rest of the stuff? I'm providing everything. You see what I'm saying?
I'm providing everything too.
You providing
without
my
money.
So check this out. If I take my money out, what you got?
What are you providing?
I still got to take care of these children and
how?
make them happy.
How?
What I'm saying is that's your role. If that's your role, why aren't you able to take on? That goes back to mental health.
That's my role. I'm doing my role.
But you want a helpmate. A woman wants a helpmate just as much as a man wants a helpmate. You might be providing the financial, but people need more than just financial support, especially when you're dealing with kids all day.
Okay.
When you don't talk about
last time I said love don't pay bills.
Love don't pay
like emotions don't pay bills, don't pay food on the table. Like
if I'm taking care of your children, and if I'm making sure you're fed, if I'm making sure that.
But how are you making sure they're fed with the money that
You're making the money, but that goes back to mental health. Like I am giving all of me.
I understand where you're coming from.
I'm giving all of me.
You're mentally exhausting yourself, and
it's nothing.
So you don't think a man like after working however many hours he works,
he don't like
he's not like. The same amount of time that you at the house with the kids is the same amount of time that I'm at work.
Dealing with a lot of more extra.
So it ain't like I have a day off.
But kids aren't. But you just take the thing about it is that when you're at work, ultimately you're at work. What you're doing, you get paid to do it. Once you leave your job, you leaving your job. Being a full-time
then I come home, then now I'm a husband and I'm a father.
But the exhaustion is already set in.
Okay, so you're a husband and a father. That's the roles that you are. But are you actively playing the roles of a husband and a father? Are you providing something outside of that monetary support? Are you women do a lot.
Like, why
some men
I?
don't. That's where the nagging comes in.
And then that's what
the nagging
what
comes
the kids
in
for.
because
Like,
you're not doing something. Like I
some
have
of them
an
kids,
issue with something.
like some of them kids got old enough to like pick up some dishes.
But suppose they
and
stair
mop the
steppers.
sweep.
Suppose they stair steppers. Y'all got stair steppers. So it's like maybe they 1, 2, 3, 4.
They could pull out.
What a break it. Okay? And some people don't believe in it.
Hey,
some people want all them kids. All
that's
right?
our fault. Shit.
Exactly. If you know.
But what I'm saying is...
Because it's 9 months to make a baby. You should wait for them stitches to heal first.
What I'm saying is the point that I'm making is that y'all talking about you don't want to hear the nagging, but it all goes back to a woman feeling supported in her journey as it relates to being a mother and a wife. That's a lot.
So are we talking about like back in the day or now?
We talking about now.
Okay. If we talking about now, I completely understand and get where you're coming from.
But again, I can give you an objection to that because I've been in a situation where I was providing everything a man should provide as far as like let's say the significant other. I'm there emotionally. If you need something financially, I'm there. Such.
You are so sweet.
Yet you're still nagging. What the hell do you want?
Well, that's that. I mean, that's that lady. That's on your. That's her. That's the one you're dealing with.
Look, I totally agree with that. Like I probably had bumped into one.
So a lot of times it's not the man that's pretty much in that situation. So I want you to take away. I understand where you come from, but address it as a woman just straight up nagging. Whereas this man is doing X, Y, Z. Yeah, you focusing on this little thing that he's not doing yet. He's doing 99% of the things.
And that's where you cut the line and you say this is not for me.
But shit, it's too late with 4 kids.
And then like, okay, is it worth that 1%? But is it worth that 1%? So if you cut it, you talking about you cut it, you get divorced, right?
Oh, you talking about divorce? I thought you was talking about like just dating.
No, I'm just saying like if we're talking about marriage and
marriage is all about give and take. Like there ain't gonna be
99%, and you tripping over this little 1%.
And then that deserves a conversation because ultimately no relationship is perfect, and it takes work. It's a daily process because it's two people coming together trying to make a life with different upbringings, different perspectives, different mind frames. They coming together to make one. So yeah, that's worth the conversation. That don't mean go and see Sue to get your mind right. So we talking
about marriage, right?
But what if he does try to present this as a conversation and you're so prideful that you're not listening, and every time he tries to talk to you, you basically just shutting down or you doing X, Y, Z.
And that's not a healthy relationship.
So my question is this: like we talking about marriage, right? So like y'all didn't know this before y'all got married. Like that's why
I got confused.
Come into perspective until.
But like, so I guess my question is:
sometimes some issues aren't faced until you actually put in those situations.
I can see that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, at the end of the day, like, as you dating, like, you kind of see certain behaviors.
So by marriage, you should already.
So like,
but a lot of times we ignore red flags. As hopeful romantics, we ignore red flags a lot of the time.
A lot of people who are passionate, we
ignore red flags.
That's our fault.
We think I know I'm that person. Like I ignore red flags.
Because what we do, we look for potential.
Fuck that. I knew shit in the bud right then. No,
I finally have gotten to the point in my life where it's like you can have all the potential in the world, but if you're not showing me because you're gonna see what I bring to the table. Okay, you're gonna see it. It's gonna be out there. But if it's just potential and you're not working towards something different, then I can't mess with it.
I tell them straight up, I bring the table. What do you bring?
I am the table.
The legs.
I'm the table. I'm everything on it. It's gonna be glamorous.
I am the legs to the table because without the legs, nice. What is that table?
In a nutshell, what do you suggest that needs to be done in order for men and women or hopeless romantics who want to pursue
Lego of pride?
Okay.
Number one, let go of pride. You should not be prideful in a relationship because therefore you're two different individuals, but you're working towards the same goal. So you should know that this other person isn't trying to take advantage of you, or you're not trying to take advantage of this other person. So therefore, all this pride and all these things.
But at what point do you let go of pride? Like, how far in a relationship should you? Well, how long in a pursuit, or
I would say this: if I don't believe that it should take forever in a day to know if you want to marry a person. So I feel like you should know within like 6 months.
6 months
that if you want to marry this person or not. So that I'm not saying you shouldn't get engaged within 6 months.
Okay, yeah,
ladies, I'm saying you should know
6 months. Okay,
you should know within 6 months. Okay, if this person compatible with me or not.
Interesting.
But a lot of times, sometimes in that 7 to 8 months, that's when the crazy kick in. So, but within 6 months, you should know, like, okay, is this person compatible or not?
Interesting.
So then, that's when I feel like all of that should take place. What's the question?
I don't even know, because, like, I just don't see how in 6 months. I guess it depends on your goal. I guess it depends on the goal of your relationship. Like, what are you doing?
No, I'm not saying...
What are your goals toward this woman in this relationship?
Exactly. And I'm not saying like the total, okay, I just met her and 6 months later, I know I want to marry her. Right. But no, 6 months of actual, serious, hard-fledged, full-out dating. You should know that, hey, okay, this is...
Are y'all going on dates?
Yeah.
Are y'all traveling?
Yeah.
Are y'all doing
we doing all that because I do that when I'm in a relationship.
Fuck that. I don't believe you should date anybody until you stay with that crazy ass.
What?
I do. I believe you should test drive.
I feel like you gotta... Well,
you should test drive.
See, that's
I don't
the thing.
believe
you should test drive the car
before you buy it. Until you
should test drive the car before you buy it.
But you get so comfortable with the car, you don't think you need to put a ring on. I feel like you can get engaged and then move in together.
I don't agree.
I agree with that too.
I agree to a certain extent. Because you can actually get your engagement ring back. So, all right, yeah, I roll with that. All right. Yeah, because that's an investment. Hey, look, fellas, just in case y'all didn't know, check this out. When you buy an engagement ring and y'all don't get married, you can get the engagement ring back because that was kind of somewhat of a contract.
Pawn it? For like half the money that you spent for it?
And that's fine because depending on like if you still making payments on that motherfucker, you might want that bitch back. Fuck that.
I don't care if I get married to you. If we break up, I want my ring back.
Like after marriage, dog, those rings are hers. But like if y'all just engaged and y'all don't get married,
Daryl, I want my ring back. I don't care. I'm taking the ring. I'm taking the kids, everything.
Damn. Nah, ain't that serious.
You keep your rings, like
I'm a league you just like I found you.
But I just feel like you gotta be sure these days. I only want to get married one time. I'm not doing it.
Me too. I don't
bunch
believe
of times. One time. Look, we together. Okay, so make it work.
See, that's the Jada Will bullshit, right? But you know what? I'm not gonna bring it up.
But that's why I take vows serious. That's why because for better or worse. Because when you are in marriages and relationships,
why?
Because you should.
You definitely should.
Not only is you
so like you take vows of marriage serious, but you don't take the relationship serious enough where you don't cheat because y'all didn't make vows. That's the shit that I don't understand.
So
if you gonna do it all the ways.
So when you make vows, you not only make these vows in front of a bunch of other people you know, you love, and a lot of people you don't like. Not only are you doing it in front of them, you're doing it in front of God.
I mean, like the Bible say a whole lot of shit that people don't follow and don't do.
I just feel like
so at the end of the day, like y'all taking like this one part of the Bible and got so serious
I take
about
relationship
marriage.
like when I'm in relationship. Like, well, I'm gonna be honest, ladies. Sometimes we gotta.
Don't tell them.
Okay,
tell them.
Like you ain't always been the good girl. You ain't always been faithful. Okay.
Nope.
But when you get to a point,
when you get people like me,
when you get to a point when you're old enough and you're mature and you're ready to settle down, like I feel like it's not hard to be monogamous. It's not. When you get to a point where you didn't experience all this and all that, ain't too much. I mean, like, damn, like why?
That shit's so crazy to me. So like y'all don't take nothing about the relationship serious. But like once you get
at this point in my life, I'm more settled. When I was young, man.
Then like all of a sudden y'all want to take this whole relationship being
them 20s was kind of. Them 20s was it, but these 30s, nah. I'm more settled. I don't be with all that shit.
So
I rest my case on it. I'm good.
So I want to thank y'all for tuning in to this week's segment of our podcast. We want to thank our co-host for coming through. Hopefully she comes through some more.
I guess.
Because it was good to get a woman's perspective on a lot of these
Nah,
things.
she can't come back.
Even though it was kind of
I can't
controversial.
come back. You know,
She's not coming back.
For the invite.
Money talk.
I
I'll make sure she come
appreciate
back. So yeah, we really want her to come back. So again, until the next episode, Unspoken Conversations.